Key was questionable coming into this week with a broken heart, but I think that the illness took him out for sure.
I know I wanted him to be here today, to be honest, so he could like defend me in the losers club, because his team lost, both of my teams lost, and then your team's taking W's and draws. But it's yeah, not a fun time to be a sports fan right now, honestly. Like, anyway, we'll get into that. I'm sure. In fact, we won't because the Ravens bye week this week, so we won't even be able to talk about the Ravens. Thank God for that. Let me look at my results from last week.
You
What was
went
it?
to,
Week
you went
six.
12-3.
Hmm.
I went 10-5, and Key went 8-7.
8-7. No wonder he's not showed up for work
Yeah.
today. 8-7. Damn. Okay, I see why he's called in questionable, unable to return, concussion protocol. I mean, we might need to put him into concussion protocol. 8-7. I don't even remember his picks for real. I wish he was here to go through his picks. But anyway, let's just jump in. That's the intro there because I want to highlight that our third co-host has called in sick today after going 8-7 in last week's picks. It's week 7 of the 2025 NFL season. Welcome back to another episode of the Nameless NFL show. Still don't have a name for it. 7 weeks into the season, but I think it's sticking. I'm your host with the most. I miss my guy Lamar Jackson. 8 under the 9. That's an improper fraction. I support the Cowboys and the Ravens. If you want to know the reason why, I'll explain one day, but not today. Q, my co-host, thankfully joining me, not leaving me to do a solo show this week. Green Bay Packers fan. Your team picked up a W last week. Some of us can't say the same. How we doing today, Q, bro?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I talked about it a little bit last week, and we'll get into it more. Packers with a win, not at the level that I was expecting, but a win is a win, so we'll take it and move on.
A win is a win. Some of us don't really know what that feels like. If you are new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe. I feel like I never say that at the start of the show. Follow us on Twitter down below. You can find the links to all the social medias. But if you are new to the show, the regular format that we do, we pay respects to the teams we picked against last week. We make our picks for this current week. And then at the end of the show, we have a little gambling segment. Gamble responsibly. It's called the Pick 6 Parlay. Usually there is 3 of us. We all pick 2 touchdown scorers or props, spreads, all of that stuff. We pick 2 each. That's why it's the Pick 6 Parlay, but also a play on an interception returned for a touchdown. Pick 6. Mansplaining right there for any anyone watching. But anyway, bro, week 6, I had a great week. 12-3. 12-3. Like, let me put respect on some certain teams that I picked against. I've got to start off real quickly with the New York Giants. Go Big Blue. They knocked off the Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Absolutely crazy game. That was my first L of the week. I picked my Dallas Cowboys to beat the Panthers. We got beat in that game. Shocker right there. And my third L of the week was the last game of the week. Washington Commanders. I picked them to beat the Bears. I think our pick 6 last week, I picked Washington on the spread, -4. They got beat by 1 point. Walk-off field goal from Jake Moody. And yeah, that's my 3 teams. I've got to... Wait there, I've had all 3 of my L's came in my division. What? That's fucking scary, bro. That's actually spooky. Commanders, Eagles, and Cowboys. All let me... That's actually spooky. Q, what was your record for last week, and who have you got to put respect on?
I went 10-5 last week, and there's a lot of times where we record, and after the episode, I'm like, man, I really made a mistake picking the one team. But the only team that I thought that I made a mistake with was doing Jacksonville over Seattle. Obviously, Seattle came out and ended up winning that one. But some of these were just ridiculous. Like, I didn't predict Giants over Eagles at all. If I knew the Panthers were wearing their black helmets, I might have picked them over the Cowboys, but I didn't realize that. And then my Monday night was not good at all. Got both those games wrong. Bills lost to the Falcons. Commanders upset by the Bears. Tough Monday night, but the rest of the week was pretty good for me.
Yeah, man, looking at that Falcons-Bills game, it was 5% Falcons on the pick, and 95% of people went with the Bills. I've been saying every week, maybe it was people saying I was salty because obviously the Bills knocked off the Ravens week 1, and maybe I was being salty, but I look at this Bills team, and I see players that think they're better than what they are. And obviously, you've got to fake it till you make it in life sometimes. But I feel like being a professional athlete, maybe it is just a mask that you wear to try and put on a front to other people to be like, I'm better than I am. But if you're putting on that mask and you don't realize it's a mask, I think that's a dangerous place to be as a professional athlete. If you think you're better than what you are, it's going to come back to bite you, and it did in this game right here, because that Bills defense is arse. I know Matt Milano's out and he's their best defender, but their defense sucks, bro. It really does. And I watched Hard Knocks in the preseason. The Buffalo Bills think they're better than what they are. I'm just going to say it right now. They were Super Bowl favorites, MVP Josh Allen favorites, and they're looking like absolute bums right now. What a pick from me. Michael Penix, Bijan Robinson, Drake London. My guys, the last time I ever benched Drake London in fantasy, by the way. So, before we move on to our week 7 picks, we like to do some little more segments rounding off last week's. We head over to Q. Q's questions. Who answered the questions? Who do you have questions for this week? Your biggest winners and losers, Q, of week 6.
Yeah, I really want to stay away from just doing both teams in one game. Because if I did that, it would just be Giants and Eagles for what the hell was going on both sides there. I will say though, Key talked about last week how the Eagles had a crack in the armor, if you will. I think it was fully exposed against the Giants. The Giants are definitely my biggest winners of this week, and biggest loser. I would say I know you just went on your little rant about Buffalo, but I would put them as my biggest loser of the week. I know the Falcons have all the talent in the world with Bijan and Drake London, but you haven't really seen them go off like all in tandem. But we definitely saw it this week, and that was just pretty shocking. Not gonna lie, I don't think I was prepared for it, and yeah, I just completely blew the doors off of Buffalo. So yeah, Buffalo's my biggest loser of the week.
Yeah, man, it's such a crazy league, isn't it? Like, any given Sunday is obviously the motto, whether you want to say any given Monday as well with the Bills-Falcons case. But, like, that Falcons team got 30-0 against the Panthers, who are whack. I know they just beat the Cowboys this week, but say what you will. 30-0, bro. And then you go and knock off the AFC favorites, Super Bowl favorites. It's crazy, but if you watch the film, you'll understand. So, biggest winner and loser right there. We're going with the Giants and we're going with the Bills. Now, speaking of the Giants, moving into my segment very nicely. My new segment, which I just came up with in like week 4, is Big Dog of the Week. This is a segment where I like to highlight a player who stood out to me watching the games. I do try and watch every single game that I can. Obviously, it gets hard sometimes on Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time. There's like 10 games on at the same time. It's hard to try and watch them all. I do like to watch actual full games and not just highlights though when I can. Definitely did watch this first game. This is my honorable mention of the week. Some people think that this guy should be Big Dog of the Week. I know our 4th co-host who might join the show at some point in the season, Tom, he's a Giants fan, so he's going to be mad that this player is not getting Big Dog of the Week. He's just an honorable mention. But it's got to be Cameron Scatterboo. Cam Scatterboo, the hat-trick of touchdowns against a division rival, Super Bowl champions Eagles. He had 19 carries for 98 yards. If I was him, I would be so mad I didn't get the 100, I can't lie. There must be some sort of contract play going on there where he gets a bonus if he gets 100 yards. They didn't want to run just one more play with him. He got 98 yards rushing, had 2 receptions for 12 yards, over 100 yards from scrimmage in total. 3 touchdowns, bro. He was also on my bench in fantasy this week. I need to stop doing this. But Cam Scatterboo is my honorable mention for Big Dog of the Week. But my actual Big Dog of the Week, I wanted to give it to this guy because heading into Monday night, I was 40 points behind Q in our fantasy matchup. I needed this guy in particular to go crazy, and he did. Bijan Robinson is my Big Dog of the Week for week 6 of the NFL season. 19 carries, 170 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 6 receptions on 8 targets for 68 yards. This guy, I'm saying it right now, he's the best player in football. He is the best player in the NFL right now. Bijan Robinson, he had a long of 81 yards for the touchdown. You know, that 81-yard rush, I read a stat that that's his longest rush he's had in his career. The one before that was like 40 yards. And I'm like, that guy's never had a rush of over 40 yards before. But he's insane. His balance, his vision, he's unbelievable. The way he makes his cuts, he is the best player in football. I'm sorry. That Falcons O-line run blocking have been sensational all season, but just what this guy does, not only in the run game, but in the passing game too. Like, this guy's a running back. I'm reading his stats from the first 4 weeks. He had 100 yards receiving, 25 yards receiving, 39 yards, 106 yards receiving, and 68 yards against the Bills. This guy is ridiculous. And he won me my fantasy matchup this week, Q. I'm sorry to hand you that L, but I'm going crazy. In fantasy, I'm 5-1 on the season. Top of our league. It's crazy right now what's going on. But Bijan Robinson, big dog of the week. Big dog in the house. Oh.
Big dog in the house.
Like I said, you're going to have
dog
a
on
back
it.
problem.
Let's move on to... In fact, anything you want to say on Bijan there? Do you want to refute my claim, Q, that he's the best player in football?
I mean, that's definitely a bold accusation, but with how many of the Titans of the league you think about, not the actual ones in Tennessee, but like the
Okay,
big
definitely
dogs
not them.
in both
Yeah.
the conferences, it's hard to make an argument against that. We've seen all these quarterbacks play exceptional, and then we've had games for everybody where they all look terrible, and whoever can put the most consistency together this year is going to be MVP for sure. And who knows, at this rate, we might finally have an MVP that's not a quarterback.
I think the last time that happened, it was Adrian Peterson, right? In like 2015, I want to say. It's probably not 2015, though. It's probably earlier than that.
2012 or something like that.
Yeah. That is like... MVP's turned into like a quarterback award, hasn't it? It's... Maybe he'll get... maybe Baker Mayfield for MVP and Bijan will get Offensive Player of the Year, but I would like to see a non-QB win MVP. That would be crazy. Let's jump in then to our Week 6 matchups. Hopefully this week, the video will be coming out before Thursday's night game. Thursday night game. Let me slow it down because sometimes I speak too quick and all the words become one. Thursday night, we've got the battle of the unks, the unction, if you will. Aaron Rodgers and his Steelers traveling to Cincinnati to play Joe Flacco and his Bengals. Joe Flacco, obviously last week, played against your Packers, tried to go 2-2 on the season, or 2-4-2, I should say, with wins over the Packers. He's sadly 1-1. I would have loved to see him beat the Packers just to have that record of beating the same team on 2 different teams in one season. I don't think that would ever be topped, honestly. But it's in Cincinnati. Joe Flacco's got another week with this offense. And he didn't look too bad last week against Hughes, honestly, with that very limited amount of time he had to learn that offense and stuff. And obviously, they would have been running a lot less like complicated of an offense for Flacco. He's got another week to learn the playbook, another week to get used to throwing to those receivers, which is why I don't understand the spread on this game is 5.5 points in favor of the Steelers. I'm going to talk about the spreads a lot in this video. If you don't understand how point spreads work, I'm actually not going to explain it because it's so complicated to even try and explain. But Vegas thinks the Steelers are going to win this game by 5.5 points. I disagree. I'm going Bengals plus 5.5. Probably taking Bengals money line too. I think Joe Flacco wins the unk off against Aaron Rodgers. And give me a Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. Q, who you taking in the battle of the old men?
But yeah, I am going to go with the Steelers on this one. I think Joe Flacco definitely played very well towards the end of the game against the Packers. And yes, he's got another week. But Rodgers has had more time to mesh with his group. And I think the Steelers had a little bit of a shaky start towards the beginning of the season. I think they've finally figured themselves out a little bit better. I think I'm going Aaron Rodgers on this one, and Key's got the Steelers winning this one too. Also, real quick, do you know the combined ages of the 2 quarterbacks in this game?
Combined age? Shit, it's got to be at least like 80.
81.
Damn, bro, 81. That is actually crazy. I was low-key joking with that as well, saying 80. I thought one of them was at least like 36. That's crazy. So who's older? Is one of them 41 and 41 or 42? Or 41?
Rodgers is 41.
Damn,
Rodgers
bro.
is 41. Flacco is 40. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I can see it happen. Obviously, Steelers coming off a bye week as well, weren't they? Their defense in the last game before the bye week looked like it had found its groove. Obviously, they played against... I can't even remember. Was it the Browns that they played before the bye?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bumhouse team with a rookie quarterback who is, I mean, we'll get to him, but yeah, bro, I feel like the Steelers could win this game for sure, but 5.5 points at home. Give me Joe Flacco to at least stay in the game. Kenneth Gainwell went crazy as well in the Steelers last game, didn't he? And the Bengals might not be able to stop that run. Also, Trey Hendrickson was questionable. If he doesn't play, give me Steelers, but if he does play, give me Bengals plus 5.5. Let's move on. I think this is a London game, the last of the London games, I want to say. Rams at Jags, but it's going to be in London, so take away the home field advantage. That is why I'm guessing Rams are actually favourites in this game by 2.5 points. Some injury concerns over there. You've got Puka Nacua. He went down. Weird looking injury. I think it's a high ankle sprain, but he got it from jumping. Normally you see ankle sprains from people getting rolled on. Yeah, bit confused about whether he's going to play or not. Apparently he's day to day. I believe Blake Corum is also day to day, second string running back, also kick returner, I want to say. Yeah, I don't know which way this one's going to go. Q, I'm going to throw this one to you to kick us off. Who you taking?
I think I'm gonna go with the Rams still. Regardless of if Puka's playing or not, I think the Rams just have the better team overall. But I will say I did see Puka Nacua come back into the game after his ankle was rolled up on, or after he hurt his ankle in the end zone. So
Did he? Yeah.
it looks like he's doing pretty good. I'm trying to double check the injury report for the Rams right now.
Yeah, not
I'm
going to lie,
not.
that was...
He is questionable,
Was that
but
against the
yeah,
Ravens?
that was against the that was last week. So whoever they played last week, that was
Was it
the
Ravens?
Ravens.
Yeah, I was going to say I turned the game off, I can't lie. I saw like 3 drives of Cooper Cush and I was like, okay, I've seen enough, honestly. So I didn't realize he came back into the game. That's obviously a good sign. So give me Rams too. And when it's a one score spread, like 2.5, it's just a field goal. Give me Rams to cover the spread too. Like Jacksonville, they're feeling themselves. They're what on the season now? 4-2 on the season. Beat the Chiefs with a big pick 6 in that game from Devin Lloyd. I want to say that his name is. I don't want to butcher his name. He's out for this game, the pick 6 man. So give me Rams, bro. Give me Matt Stafford. He's been absolutely cooking this season, even though I did just drop him in fantasy. But with my fantasy luck this year, with my bench and dropped players, Matt Stafford might go absolutely crazy this week. So give me the Rams too.
Yeah, and I think Key might be riding the Stafford train because he's also picking the Rams on this one.
Good shit, man. Let me see the Pick'em has that at 57%. As always, make sure you join our ESPN Pick'em League. I don't want to get the advert in there. Let me show some other fixtures. I'm ruining my picks right there, but give me what am I talking about? I don't want to ruin my picks for the next games. Damn, I don't remember picking this team. Anyway, make sure you join, link down below. Join the Pick'em. You can join the boys and yeah, get a record on your picks. Next game though, we've got usual scheduled programming at 6 p.m. UK time on Sunday. None of this early morning London stuff. We've got the New Orleans Saints playing the Chicago Bears. They've just got a big last minute win against the Commanders. 5.5 point favorites again for this game in Chicago, coming off a win. Their only 2 losses this season, I want to say, has been to NFC North teams as well. So this is a tough spot. Are you taking the Bears, Q, or are you taking the Saints? I'll let you start again.
Well, he's got the Bears in this one. And I don't know if I'm going to be regretting this later or not. We talked about how the Giants was the best place for the Saints to pick up a win. I think right now the Bears is their second best place. But I'm still rocking with the Bears on this one. I think they've definitely put a lot of that bad juju behind them. Sort of beating their demons, if you will, the team that completely sent them into a spiral at the end of last season. So if they can get that monkey off their back, I think they can handle the Saints. So give me Bears.
Man, this is a tough one for me to pick. You know, I was early on the Saints. I was trying to back the Saints early on. The one time I didn't back them is when they got their actual first win of the season. Do I go back with the Saints? The Rattlesnake in Chicago? 5.5 points seems like a lot to me, honestly. I feel like this could come down to a scrappy field goal game again. I'm leaning Saints plus 5.5, but we also run a moneyline pick'em league, so I'm trying to like decide which side of the fence to fall on here. I like Saints with the points. Do I like them outright to win in Chicago against Caleb Williams and his nails? Nah, give me Caleb Williams. Give me Caleb Williams. Give me Roma Dunze anytime touchdown. DeAndre Swift went crazy last game against the Commanders too. It's getting towards those winter months as well. Now it's going to get cold in Chicago. We might see some rain. We might see some snow. I mean, it might be a bit early for snow. I'm not actually too sure how the American climates work, but give me Bears money line, Saints to cover the spread. 5.5 seems like a lot of points in the NFL. I don't love that pick though. Let's move on to another pick I don't love at all. We've got the Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns. The pick'em is way more even than I thought it was going to be. Right now, ESPN has a 56% of users on the Dolphins, 44% of users on the Browns. The Browns actually favorites in this one by 2.5 points. Never thought I would say the Browns are favorites this season. It takes a seriously bad team for the Cleveland Browns to be favorited by points. And it's 2.5 points. And I'm picking the Browns minus 2.5 points to cover the spread against this terrible Dolphins team. Both of these teams 1-5. Two of the worst teams in the NFL. Dylan Gabriel looks terrible. Well, after last game he did. You know, he showed a bit of like promise, I think, in the preseason, but I watched him last week. My God, that guy sucks. It's perfect timing. It's time for Shador Sanders. I'm saying it already. Get Shador in there. He's not going to play in this one. Somebody who will play in this one and make a difference is Quinshon Judkins, rookie out of the Ohio State University. I think he'll have a big day. I think that defense is going to go crazy. Tua is going to get absolutely hawk to it all over by Myles Garrett. And what's the big man through the middle? Mason Graham. Yeah. I'm taking Browns minus the points. Never going to hear me say that again the rest of the season. Who have you got in this absolute battle of the stinkers? We have the unk off to start the week, and this is the stinker off in the middle of Sunday.
Yeah. Well, let me shout out Crab real quick. He's going with the Dolphins. And again, every time he picks the Dolphins, I feel like that's a fantasy move because he loves his guy Devon Achane. But I definitely see a world where the Dolphins can win this game. But I don't know, man. I was gonna pick the Dolphins originally, but I'm starting to think, like you talked about with Quinshon Judkins, he's playing very well. And I don't know if you know who the run game coordinator is for the Dolphins, but
I
it's a
don't.
guy by the name of Joe Barry. And he may or may not have been our defensive coordinator, and that man may or may not be a terrorist because every year he was in Green Bay, I swear to God, it was like 30th in rushing defense, 32nd in rushing defense, 30th in rush defense. So if Quinshon can give himself a good game, I think the Browns win. I don't think they'll need to ask too much of Dylan Gabriel in this one. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to, but I might have to go with you on the Browns.
Wow. Two of us picking the Browns. Who'd have thought it? Not me. Do you know how much I'm willing to double down on the Browns right now? I think I might pick up Quinshon Judkins in our fantasy live on air. In fact, he's got a week 9 bye. I'm not doing that. Anyway, let me just take the Browns minus the points and let's move on to the next game. Talking about two of the worst teams in the NFL. We have the third worst team in the NFL. Well, probably the number one worst team. They are also 1-5. I can't believe that any of these three teams we've just spoke about has a win. I'm of course talking about the Tennessee Titans. They're hosting the New England Patriots. Titans have just fired the head coach. Patriots on a roll after beating the Bills. And who did they beat last week? Can't remember.
Saints.
Yeah, I could beat the Saints single-handedly, but shout out to the Patriots. Drake May is playing like an MVP, dare I say it. Shades of Tom Brady. And I say that because he's a white quarterback playing for the Patriots who's looking good. That's like the only comparison really to Tom Brady. A lot of people are saying I'm more handsome Tom Brady. I think that's debatable. This is not the show to debate that though. Patriots minus 7.5 points. That's a lot. But this Titans team sucks. Complete ass. And now they don't have a head coach. Don't know who they're going to replace him with. I've heard talk about Mike McCarthy probably looking for a job. I've heard talk of John Gruden possibly looking to get back into coaching. Any thoughts on the Titans head coach Q? I'm picking Patriots to win this, probably cover the spread to -7.5. Give us your pick and thoughts on the head coach situation over there in Tennessee.
Well, I mean, you know it's bad when I almost picked Titans as my biggest winner of the week for firing their head coach. But yeah, no, I think that job, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, is pretty undesirable, especially when Tennessee has a track record of like hiring and firing guys and only giving them like 2 years to do whatever. I think, like you said, it's kind of an outlandish idea, but if John Gruden really wants to get back into NFL head coaching, this might be his best shot because I truly doubt there's going to be a lot of people eyeing that job. Cam Ward is the only positive, and there's just so many negatives. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that. Um, but yeah, Crab's got the Patriots. I got the Patriots in this one. Um, Brian Callahan talking about after the Cardinals game, being like, if you guys play like this, you're gonna do great things in the league. They've played like that every single week, and they only lost or they only won because the Cardinals stumbled backwards and just completely threw the game away. I doubt that happens again this year. They might eke out one earned win later, but I don't see it happening against the Patriots.
Yeah, man, I feel like 7.5 points is a lot on a spread, but this Titans team, bro, are just not good. And I think it's going to take more than just a head coach change to get them to a winning spot. They need to just rebuild from the ground up. Maybe trade away next year's first round pick because they're probably going to be the number one overall pick again. Did you see that stat, by the way, about number one overall picks? Like the last four about their head coach fired in their rookie season. It was like Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, and someone else. And then their rookie season, they've had the head
I have
coach fired. So,
I have not, but just that happens way too much. And I made this point in our chat, but it's like if you're not 100% sure about your head coach when you have a rookie quarterback or potential franchise quarterback at the helm, then get rid of him. Because how
hmm,
many times have we seen it with these guys who come in, learn an offense, and then their head coach gets fired, and then they have to learn
do
the
it all
interim
again.
head
Yeah.
coach's offense if he even, changes it from what the shitty head coach is doing to start. And then they bring in another guy next year, and they have to learn a new offense there and just all of these moving pieces with trying to learn new schemes and everything. And it's like, I don't know, dude. It seems pretty obvious to me that you want to, if you're going to draft a rookie quarterback first overall and you're not sure about the administration at the top, just like hit refresh on everything. Like, don't come in with a shoddy head coach and then, oh, all of a sudden he gets fired midseason. And then you have like what we've had talking about with like Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is only started to play good this year, it feels like. Every other year has just been like trying to learn a new system.
Hmm.
Same thing. Cam Ward's probably going to struggle going into next year too, just because of all this. Um, I think the Bears got very lucky with their head coaching hire, but they've had that cycle going for like 10 years, going back to John Fox and Jay Cutler, all of that stuff. And it hasn't been looking good for them. It's finally starting to look good now. But I mean, do you really want to sit around in mediocrity for 10 years when you can just like hit the refresh and try something to rebuild again in like 2 or 3? Like, it seems like the obvious choice to me, but I guess that's why I'm not the one at the helm of any of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, you see some of these decisions being made at the even from the top people in these organizations, and sometimes it looks like do they even know what they're doing? But I guess only time will tell. And if they go for an offensive mind like a John Gruden, will he be able to turn a team around? But I think that Titans organization is just cooked right now, and you definitely need to see some change there. Shout out to everyone who had money on Mike McDaniels being the first head coach to be fired this season. You lost. Unfortunate. I thought Mike would be the first one to go, but Callahan has took the prize and took all the money for everyone who bet that. If you bet that, you probably have a problem. To be honest, like that's a. Did you see that video of Paolo Banchero in the NBA? It was NBA preseason, and it was NBA preseason, right? Just kicked off now, and Paolo runs out to the wing, and like there's a guy in the stands filming, and he goes like, "Come on, Paolo, 2 more points, bro, 2 more points for my parlay." And Paolo turns around to him and goes, "Bro, you're betting on preseason. You're addicted." And it's like, damn, he called him out, but that's so true. Betting on preseason is crazy. But I won't pretend and say I didn't do it in the NFL. Obviously, talking about the spreads a lot this episode. This next spread is the biggest of the week. We've got division matchup Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs, who just knocked off the very hot Detroit Lions. The spread, obviously Kansas City are favorited, 12.5 points. Now, everything in my head says the Chiefs are going to win this game. They're going to score 30 points. The Raiders are going to score 17 points max. The Chiefs will cover the spread. But, in fact, that's exactly 13 points I've just said, isn't it? I didn't even mean to do that.
I think so.
I didn't even mean to do that. But, okay, maybe I'll take Chiefs minus 12.5. I was going to take Raiders plus 12.5 because 12.5 points is a lot of points, especially for a division rival. I don't like taking double-digit spreads in division matchups, especially 13 points near enough. I'm taking Chiefs moneyline. I'm taking Raiders to cover the spread. Max Crosby is my guy, one of my favorite players in the NFL. My vote this season in our preseason video for Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm backing Max Crosby, but I'm also backing the Chiefs to score 30 points and absolutely blow this Raiders team out of there. Geno Smith against this Spags defense is going to struggle. You've got Rashee Rice coming back this week, by the way, as well. So this Chiefs offense, Mahomes is playing like an MVP right now. Travis Kelce's having a good season. Tyquan Thornton has got like 3 touchdowns on the season. Xavier Worthy's back healthy. Rashee Rice is back. Juju Smith-Schuster's getting his head punched in. This Chiefs offense is looking great. I think they can score 30 here, but then it feels like one of those games as well where like the Chiefs might score 21 and not be able to just move the ball. Everyone thinks, oh, Rashee Rice is back. It's Mahomes. They're at Arrowhead. But I feel like the Raiders might cause some problems. But that offense just needs to do something. And I don't know what they can do, especially if Brock Bowers is still out for this one. Ooh, that's a big piece. Q, who are you taking for this game? And what do you think on a 12.5 point spread?
I'm gonna reference the pick I made a while ago, Bills Patriots, where the Patriots after this supposedly super great quarterback skipped town and went to Tampa Bay, they haven't been super great, but they've always been a thorn in the side of Buffalo. Like I talked about, Mac Jones beat him, only passing the ball with like 3 completions, and they were still able to beat him. And Drake May came out and beat him again this year. I see the Raiders and Chiefs rivalry as the same, where there's one game of the year where the Raiders get completely blown out, and then the other game they keep it scary close, sometimes even coming away with the win, and they're just the thorn in the Chiefs' side that's a stain on their record going into the postseason and blah blah blah. The only problem is, what game is it? Is it this first one here or is it the second one? And we talked about the Chiefs getting all their weapons back and stuff like that, and how everybody's gonna go rah rah Chiefs. Um, I think this is the game that the Raiders are going to keep it surprisingly close, especially because everybody's kind of writing them off already. I think this is the one where the Raiders keep it close, but I'm still picking the Chiefs, and Crab's picking the Chiefs on this one too.
I feel like it's a no-brainer to pick the Chiefs here at home, just off the back of a big win. We've got pieces coming back. But bro, I don't know, 12.5 points seems like a lot. Honestly, my head is telling me like this is an easy spot for the Chiefs to just blow them out. They've got the momentum. But again, division matchups, there's just something different about it. You know what I mean? There's a different aura about the game, if you will. On the spread picking, by the way, it's actually 59% on the Raiders plus 12.5. So I'm in the majority there, but I guess that's such a big spread, bro. Like I can't see myself putting money, gamble responsibly, obviously, but on a 12.5 point spread. Do you know how many points that is, bro? Like 12.5.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, that's enough talking about the Chiefs. Let's move on to the next game. A lot of that's not even the right phrase I'm trying to use. Very different spread for this next game. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Minnesota to play the Vikings. This is looking like a good matchup. The Eagles, what even are the Eagles this season? Nobody knows. Questions on offense. Saquon can't run the ball. Teams are saying, we're not letting Saquon beat us. Jalen Hurts, you can throw for 280 yards if you want, but you probably won't. And you probably won't get the ball in the end zone. We're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us this season, not Saquon. And we've seen the Eagles drop 2 games already this season. Nearly dropped the first one against the Cowboys. I'm always going to keep holding on to that for the whole season. Eagles are favorited for this game against the Vikings, though. 1.5 points. Their defense is looking sorry. Their offense is looking sorry. But they're playing the Vikings, who I don't even know who's starting at quarterback for this game, because JJ McCarthy went down. Carson Wentz came in. He's also injured. He injured his shoulder. They've coming off a bye week. I don't know who's fit, who's healthy, who's playing. All I know is that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and they still have talent. Give me the Eagles to win and cover, but give me a Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. Hit the griddy while I'm sat down. Q, who you picking for this one, bro?
Yeah. Very, very similar mindset from me and Crab here. I think the Eagles have definitely had their cracks shown um, in more ways than one, but I
Too
think
much
the
ass on the
Vikings aren't
play.
going to be able
Personal
to.
foul. Sorry, you said crack showing. I
Yeah,
was like,
I yeah, I don't think the Vikings have what it takes to beat the Eagles this time around. I definitely see this game. It's going to be a big defensive battle. Eagles have shown cracks for sure, but I think they're still a strong unit. The Vikings, they always have a great defense, but it's up to the talent of this Eagles team to finally show up and get it done. So I'm going Eagles.
yeah, man, Vikings. Let's see how that bye week is treating them. Who will start at quarterback? They've obviously got Addison back from suspension. Was it Addison that was suspended? It was, wasn't it? For the Vikes.
Yeah.
He came back in the London game and then got suspended in that game by the team because he went out sightseeing or some shit like that. Did you hear that? He missed, like, he was late for the team meeting. I don't know. In internal politics, he's back though. They've got a healthy team apart from the quarterback position, it seems. And yeah, man, it's give me the Eagles because their team's looking shaky. Even still, I've just said that doesn't make no sense. Give me the Eagles because they're looking shaky. What the hell am I talking about? The Eagles defense, though, Quinion Mitchell got injured last week against the Giants, which is obviously a big blow for them. Who's going to start at cornerback? Because they have Adoree Jackson, who sucks. Down at safety, they're looking weak. Reed Blankenship hobbled off the pitch against the Giants as well. One of the two cool white boys over there in Philly. And then the Giants came to town with their own pair of exciting whites and knocked their white boys off. You know what I mean? Last week was the exciting white face off, and the Giants, man, they went and took that crown. But I've got that picture rent free in my head of, you know, Jackson Dart and Scatterby in the end zone when like Scat's like down on one knee with his top off. Well, pause. Why for that? But that picture, bro, is like ingrained in my memory. What an absolute vibe over in New York. But give me the Eagles, and let's move on. We've got another 1.5 point spread game here, and I love this pick. It's the Panthers at the Jets. Give me Panthers minus 1.5. The Jets suck. That's all I have to say. The Jets absolutely suck. Does this feel like a trap game? The Jets finally get their first win of the season against the bum-ass Panthers. Jets are home. Plus 1.5 point underdogs. No, give me the Panthers. Fuck out of here. The Jets suck. And Garrett Wilson's doubtful for this game. He got a hyperextended knee, I think, in their last game. One of the worst offensive performances of all time from Justin Fields. He is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Give me the Panthers. I love this pick, minus 1.5. Q, who you taking?
Yeah, you, me, and anybody and everybody else watching this episode had more net passing yards than Justin Fields did in the game. So, little pat on the back.
Yeah.
We did a great job there.
Well done, guys.
Look, man. The Panthers, they can keep any game competitive, and I mean that in not a great way. They can go into a game like the Jets and somehow make the Jets look like a decent team, but I still think they're going to find a way to win. And Key's back in the Panthers as well.
Yeah, you've got Rico Dowdle over there putting on 2 career displays against 2 of the worst defenses in the NFL. So how much do you read into that? But will he be able to do it again against the Jets? I do fancy Tetero McMillan to find the end zone here. He got his first touchdowns of the season last week against the Cowboys. Great place to buy him at. If you did, well done. I should have done it because that Cowboys defense sucks. But I think he got 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys, T-Mac. Love him to find the paint again here against the Jets. Sauce Gardner's not looking like himself or like he did in his rookie year. Yeah, let's go Panthers and let's move on. Jets, bum-ass team. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos. Speaking of teams who just faced the Jets and looked absolutely awful. What a terrible game that is, especially being the London game. Do you know how many eyes in the UK were on that game for it to be complete arse? Denver Broncos at home against the Giants. The Broncos defense is sensational, while that offense is looking arse. My God, their offense is so boring. Sean Payton at play call, he is putting Bo Nix in some bad positions, bro. Because they've got weapons on that offense. Cortland Sutton is an absolute dog. Let him throw the ball up in the air and let Cortland Sutton go and get it. All these little screen passes and short, quick outs. I'm not on it. And the Broncos are 7.5-point favorites here against the wavy white boys, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo. Give me the Broncos to win this game. Somehow I think they'll find a way to get it done at home. I think they'll win the game, but not by 7.5 points. Give me Giants to cover the spread. Cam Scatterbo, Jackson Dart. I know this defense is great, and this might be a bad showing from Jackson Dart like we saw against the Saints. He looked terrible against the Saints. But then he looked great against the Eagles, and on paper, the Eagles are a solid defense. I know half of them were injured, but still. Broncos defense against the wavy white boys on the Giants offense. Give me Giants to cover, Broncos to win. Q, over to you, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to give the start here to Key really quick. He's actually back in the blue and picking the Giants on this one. He's definitely riding the wavy white boys train. But I'm in the similar mindset of you, where I think this Giants season has just been a roller coaster. Like, you upset the 3-0 Chargers, lose to the Saints, upset the Super Bowl champion Eagles, and then what? Probably lose to a disappointing Broncos team. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it, to be perfectly honest. And look, man, they're already. I don't know how much air is getting into Cam Scadaboo's brain, but traveling mile high, I don't think you're gonna get. I don't think it's gonna help him out a whole lot. Of course, this is one of those games where I can definitely see both teams pulling out a win somehow. But I'm backing the Broncos on this one. Do I need to repeat myself?
No, you good, bro. The more that I think about it, the
Okay.
more I'm like, the wide receiver core over in New York isn't looking great. I know they had a good game against the Eagles, but then, you know, the Eagles cornerbacks are beat up. You're going up against the Broncos, who have Patrick Surtain. You know what I mean? The D line of the Broncos, sensational. Nick Bonito, by the way, how much have I been riding this guy? Pause. For how long have I been riding this guy? Pause. And now I'm starting to see people saying, oh, Nick Bonito's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Don't jump on the hype train now. Nick Bonito's been my guy. You know what I mean? I like to. I feel like I'm gatekeeping an NFL player, which is like so weird. But like, you know, just remember who said it first, bro. You know what I mean? Shout out to Terrell as well, my boy. Nick Bonito. That's our guy. We've been knowing how good this guy is. You know, Zach Allen too. I said in last week's video against the Jets, give me Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, anytime sack. I actually visioned it in my head that they would both sack Justin Fields at the same time, get a half sack each. It's exactly what happened. If only I put money on it. Oh, wait, I did put money on it, but I parlayed it with Garrett Wilson's over, and Justin Fields had less passing yards than me. Anyway, let's move on to the next game, shall we? I think the Broncos might cover is what I was about to say, but fuck it. Next game, Indianapolis Colts at the Chargers. Colts underdogs for this one. The 5-1 Colts. You can get them plus points, plus 1.5. Chargers at home. Oh, what are we liking from the Chargers, Q? The run game. They brought in, what was his name? Vidal. He went crazy last week on the stats. But I thought their run game might have been finished with Omari and Hampton going on IR. Obviously, Justin Herbert stood in that pocket looking like Hercules, in the words of Jim Harbaugh. Are we taking the Colts or are we taking the Chargers in this one, Q? Who have you got?
Key's got the Colts, and I think this is the game that I've been flip flopping back the most. Just looking through the slate for this week, I think we definitely saw the O line for the Chargers struggle mightily without Joe Alton. Rashawn Slater's gone for the whole year, and the Colts, man, every time, every time I say it, I'm like, I still can't believe how good the Colts are. I doubted them in a lot of games this year, but they've definitely proven me wrong. The Chargers, I don't know, man. Chargers were so great to start, and then they lost to the Giants. So it's like, what does that say? Who is good this year? That's what I want to know. Who is even a good NFL team this year? Um, I think I'm gonna go. I was originally leaning Chargers, but I think I'm gonna go with Key and pick the Colts on this one.
I'm with you, boys. Honestly, especially plus points, plus 1.5 points. Give me the Colts. I just don't see a world where the Chargers win this, but then I do see a world where the Chargers win this because it's any given Sunday and anything can happen in this league. Like you say, who is even good? I think a big point for this game will, I always butcher this guy's name, Chavarius Ward. I always butcher his first name. I'm sorry. Ward, the cornerback for the Colts. He's on like 35 million a year contract. Did you see him get injured last week? Did you see what happened to him?
Yeah,
That should
that's
never
Key's
happen.
old guy. I'm pretty sure.
That shit should never happen, bro. Like, how are they running into each other in warm ups? Also, Anthony Richardson's on IR. Did you see what happened to him? A
Yeah.
resistance band snapped, hit him in the eye. He nearly lost his eye. That is like, what is going
Yeah.
on for both of that to happen?
That was both of them in pregame warmups,
Yes,
right?
yeah. For both of those things to happen in a pre-game warm up, that shit can't run. Like Ward is a great player for the Colts too. They're gonna need him against this Chargers receiving core. Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, Ladarius McConkey, obviously sensational. The Colts defense, maybe that's why Chargers are favorites for this one. Because if the Colts are lacking a defensive piece, it could be spooky. But bro, it's in LA. Do I go Chargers? I'm like flip flopping on my pick now. Maybe give me Chargers. I've had Colts locked in all day, plus 1.5. Now give me Colts, bro. I'm riding high with Tyler Warren in my fantasy team. Give me the Colts. But low key, this one's not getting put on the parlay. This one could go either way. And it's going to be fun to watch, I think. Speaking of a game that's going to be very fun to watch and should be very high scoring, we move on to a division rival matchup. My Dallas Cowboys at home in Jerry's World. We welcome the Washington Commanders. Commanders favorites by 1.5 points. Being a Cowboys fan, I never bet against my team. That's cost me a lot of money over my years. But give me the Cowboys plus 1.5 points to win this game. Take our season to 3-3-1. Commanders, no Terry McLaurin. He got his money and then he's just sat out the season. I'm not convinced on this Commanders team this year. Give me the Cowboys to win in a very high-scoring game. The over-under for this game, by the way. Did I say by the way, then? What the fuck? Did I just glitch? The over-under for this game, by the way, is 55 points. That's a fucking lot of points, bro. You know what I mean? That's a high-scoring game. Vegas are expecting. Let me take Cowboys and take the over. How are we feeling about this one, Q?
I mean, we already got some scoregami this year with the Cowboys in a 40-40 tie. What do we think about a 42-42 going into this one, huh? I think, look, Cowboys, their offense has been exceptional this year. It's truly been the defense that's let them down this entire time. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels, I hate to say it because he's been injured, but he's definitely dealing with that sophomore slump type of season. And 2 turnovers last week. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be very close. I'm going Cowboys, but I think Key's love for your guy Dak Prescott has ran its course because he's picking the Commanders on this one.
That's crazy when he has George Pickens and Jake Ferguson in his fantasy team. Now he wants to start hating. That's crazy to me. But yeah, our offense, bro, is looking electrifying. I literally said it in the preseason video that me and you did. I was like, this Dallas offense, we're going to be electrifying this year. Our defense, though, don't know about that. And that's been the moral of the story with this Dallas team so far this season, bro. Anytime Dak Prescott does anything special, George Pickens, by the way, 6 touchdowns on the season. What an absolute dog. He might be one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL right now. Did you see his hurdles last week? Like, did you see the guy, he tried to hurdle and the guy just was stood up and he just hit him in the face because he tried to hurdle him? You know what's funny as fuck, bro? I saw him do that one time for the Steelers too. So that must just be in his bag, you know? As soon as he gets like the feel for the hops, he just wants to jump over everyone. But What a
You know
guy.
what I see all the time? Yeah, you know what I see from Pickens all the time? The clip of, the Cowboys get, like, a game-ending pick, and the defender's celebrating, and he runs
Face
by
mask.
Pickens, and Pickens just grabs his
Yeah.
face mask and drops him.
See,
I
that's one
don't
of
know if
those.
that Cowboys defender I don't know
Mm.
if that Cowboys defender is still on the team, maybe because when Pickens got there, he's like, undercover agent, like, "Yeah, I'm not helping you out, buddy."
Oh man. I mean, I don't even know if the Cowboys have any defenders, to be honest. If you watched us play this season, I don't know if anyone's there. But yeah, like I say, anything that Dak and Pickens and Ferguson can put up, and Javonte Williams is looking great running the rock this year. But anything they do, they know we're gonna be back out on the field. Well, not soon actually, because our defense don't get stops, but they know that they've got to get at least points on the board every time they go out there, because they know that defense can't stop a fucking leaky tap. You know what I mean? Moving on to your team now. The Green Bay Packers traveling away to face the Arizona Cardinals. I know you had a few things you wanted to say about the Cardinals in this one, Q, so I'll let you take the floor to start this one. The spread, 6.5 points in favor of the Packers. Will Kyler Murray start? Will Marvin Harrison Jr. start? Because he hit his head off the turf so hard, I thought the stadium was going to fucking collapse, bro. Will he start? Is he in concussion protocol? Who will start at quarterback? And who will win this game? Q, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going Packers on this one. Last time we traveled out to the desert, Rasul Douglas got an interception, ended their perfect season run, and the Cardinals have just fallen apart ever since then. Rasul, I still miss you, bro. I saw your forced fumble in the Dolphins game. I love you. Um, but yeah, man, this Cardinals team has just fallen from grace so hard. And Key's also back in the Packers, but the thing I wanted to bring up, and this might be like a boiling lava hot take here, but did both Kyler Murray and the Cardinals make a mistake, like with this union of the two? Like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Kyler Murray was like the fifth overall pick in the MLB draft. Like, he could be playing baseball and be making way more money than what he is in the NFL. And I can't remember who their head coach at the time was. I don't know if it was Cliff or if that was before they hired him, but they draft Josh Rosen. He doesn't play exceptional. Sorry, can you hear that or no?
No, no.
My dogs are just going
I
crazy.
heard it a
Okay,
little bit, but
cool.
you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, um, they go 3-3. They had like the terrible record, and they end up with the 10th overall pick. You have Lamar Jackson waiting at the end of the first round, and who do they go with? Josh Rosen, the man who said there were 9 mistakes made ahead of it, and I'm going to prove them. That man did not play well his first year, and then they go out and draft Kyler Murray. I think that's been that good of a union between the two teams. Are you getting me or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm I'm lagging
You were
here
a
and I
bit
can't
choppy,
tell
yeah.
if it's going through or not.
You were a bit choppy, but it was still coming through, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Okay. So just imagine this. Like, imagine if they stuck with Josh Rosen for one more year. They could have had Keys guy Nick Bosa, #1 overall. And then you tell me who you would rather have here, Kyler Murray, or would you rather have Joe Burrow?
I mean, that's a no-brainer, you know. That is a
Yeah.
no-brainer. It's obviously Joe
Would you
Burrow.
rather have would yeah, would you rather have Kyler or Tua?
That's like, would you rather have Hitler versus Stalin type question right there? I don't like either of those
Uh,
guys. You know,
okay.
5'10"
Moving on.
QBs.
Would you
Let's move
rather have
on.
Yeah, all right. Would you rather have Kyler or Justin Herbert?
That I was about to say that when you brought up Tua. Justin Herbert, I think, is showing he's the better pick.
Yeah, would you rather have Kyler or Jordan Love?
I would take Pookie over Kyler Murray, just on height alone.
Yeah, would you rather have Kyler or Jalen Hurts?
I would rather have Kyler Murray because fuck the Eagles.
Okay.
Fuck the Eagles. Are you kidding
All
me?
right. Well, listen, man. You took 3 quarterbacks the next year over Kyler Murray, and I think that's definitely what they should have done looking back. Like, Kyler missed out on so much money in the MLB. The Cardinals missed out on three, I'll admit it, four great quarterbacks. And they just have not seen any of the results they were hoping for. That's my boiling lava hot take, is
Mm.
that Kyler should have went to the MLB, or the Cardinals should have just waited another year to draft a quarterback. But yeah, all that's to say, Cardinals completely falling apart. I'm going Packers. Key's got Packers, and I have a feeling I know who you got.
Yeah, I'm taking Packers. I'm taking Packers to cover the spread too, 6.5 points. I don't care who plays that quarterback, whether it's Kyler Murray or whether it's Trey McBride in a Wildcat set. Like, I don't care who's under center, who is even playing starting wide out for the Cardinals. I don't like that team, bro. I say that, but I drafted their defense in fantasy. It got dropped. And I have Trey McBride in fantasy too. But either way, give me the Packers. Last week, the Colts played the Cardinals. They were 6-point favorites when the lines opened. Kyler Murray was ruled out for the game. And what's bro's name? The backup, Jacoby Brissett, was... It is Jacoby Brissett, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to butcher his name. When he got announced at the start, the line moved from 6 to 9.5. And I very stupidly took the Colts minus 9.5. Even though I low-key had a thought that Kyler Murray not starting that game would actually benefit the Cardinals. And it did. It was quite a close game in the end between the Cards and the Colts. But give me the Packers in not a close game here to cover a 6.5 point spread. Moving on to the late window here on Sunday night, Monday morning UK time. We've got the Atlanta Falcons coming off a big win. On the Pick'em spread, the spread is 1.5. But I believe on the sports books, it's actually 3. And it's favorites in favor. Let me say that again. I believe the spread for this next game is 3. It's actually 2 now, okay? It's the Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. I have no idea in what world the 49ers should be favorites in this game. Give me Falcons to win money line. Give me Falcons to cover +2 on the spread. I have not... Maybe they're predicting a swing like we saw with the Falcons against the Panthers. But this 49ers team, Key... I'm going to slate his team again. He's never going to watch. Bro doesn't even watch his own show. But his team sucks, and they just lost Fred Warner. Everyone's in hospital. They're running out of beds over there. They need to put an extension on the physio room because there's that many people needing treatment right now. You've heard of people getting extensions on the stands so more fans can get in. We just saw the Bills turn up a new stadium. But bro, the 49ers need to focus on a new medical staff, new medical room, because everyone's injured over there. Give me the Falcons to win outright. Easy. I don't know why the 49ers are favorites for this one, unless somebody knows something that I don't. Q, take it away. I'm guessing Keys picked the 49ers. But who are you picking, bro?
Yeah, I got Falcons as well. I am worried though that this is going to be another spot where I'm like, oh, 49ers are injured to hell and back, and they're never going to beat the Rams, and we saw them beat the Rams. But yeah, I'm falling into, call it a trap. I don't really know, but I'm falling into that mindset again where I truly think after Fred Warner goes down, who do you have left on that defense? Especially with all their injuries already. So I think the Falcons definitely, they're going to have their work cut out for them, but I can see the Falcons winning. And yeah, Keys obviously got the 49ers.
Yeah,
so
I think George Kittle might be back, I want to say, for this game. There's a chance. But I don't care, bro. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, yeah, that's great pieces for that offense. Don't even know who's starting at QB. Is Brock Purdy back? I don't know. But Nick Bosa's out. Nick Bosa, that's not his name. Nick Bosa is out for the season. Fred Warner is out for the season. I think Ricky Pearsall's still down as well. Give me Bijan Robinson, the best player in football right now, to have another day. He's lining up at running back, wide out. He can do it all, bro. And Drake London, I drafted him early on in fantasy. He was the second wide receiver I picked up in our fantasy draft. And I said, that's an absolute dog right there. He nearly got 2 tuds last week. Did you see the second one where he stepped out at like the 1 yard line? Disappointing, but at least he didn't get it because he was on my bench in fantasy. But Drake London is an absolute dog. I've always been a fan of tall, physical wide receivers. Just give me Drake London and Bijan by themselves to cover this. Michael Penix is absolutely slinging that rock. He shoots that ball like a fucking shotgun, bro. I swear down. he throws that ball like the ball like said something about his mother before he releases it, bro. He absolutely unleashes that ball. Michael Penix
I
is like
saw a
me on
tweet that
Madden.
was like,
Go for it.
yeah, I was gonna say I saw a tweet that was like Michael Penix just throws the football and wonders what do-rag he's gonna wear tomorrow.
Oh,
Not a
bro.
care in the world.
Man, he
I will
throws
say,
that
let me
ball with some
also,
venom. Yeah, man, go for it.
yeah, I will say Key's probably gonna bring this point up if he was here. So I do want to shout out his guy Jawan Jennings. I hate the guy because I hate the 49ers, but he's putting on some like Brett Favre level of like I'm gonna be in this game no matter what. I don't know if it was like bruised or broken or what, but he was playing with like 5 bruised or broken ribs, a high ankle sprain, and a low ankle sprain, and it was like still listed as questionable. And it's like that old picture of the Favre injury report that's like he's got injuries from head to toe and he's listed as probable. So he's definitely putting on a Superman performance, but I don't know if that by itself can carry him to a win.
Yeah, man. Especially with obviously Mac Jones. We had a big debate last week about Mac Jones versus Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan's offense and their system and how they are just system quarterbacks, plug and play kind of vibe. But this Falcons defense is legit, man. Number one defense in the NFL right now. And you've got all those first rounders over on the offense. Obviously, Penix, Bijan, Drake, Kyle Pitts. I want to say the O line has some first rounders in. I can't even remember who the fuck knows names of O linemen. It don't matter. But
Chris Chris Lindstrom,
that's what I was gonna say. But I was gonna say Linderbaum, but that's somebody else, isn't it? I feel like
that's Tyler Lindenbaum.
he's an O lineman too, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's on the Falcons though. I couldn't tell you where
No,
he's
no,
at
he's not.
unless he's
But
on the Ravens.
he is. Yeah, that's the Ravens center. Yeah, I knew
Yep.
that it was the L name that got to me. I mean, talk about the Cowboys defense. Do they even have a defense? Does the Ravens even have an O line? I don't know, man. But the Ravens on a bye week this week. Can't wait for my dog Lamar Jackson to come back next week. Let's finish off though. Our round 7 picks. Next up, NFC North. Detroit Lions coming off the back of a loss, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. MVP, MVP. Can you hear that from the crowd? There are chants of MVP for Tez Johnson. No, it's for Baker Mayfield. Detroit Lions at home, 5.5 point favorites in this one. 5.5 points is a lot of points. I think there was a stat that the Lions haven't lost back-to-back games since like fucking 2017 or something. I don't know. Amon Ra said it before on his podcast. I wasn't really listening properly. I'm sorry. Amon Ra, I did have it on 2x speed. But give me the Buccaneers plus 5.5. I know that they've got nobody. Everyone's injured. Their entire wide receiver core is injured, but it's a next man up mentality. Baker Mayfield will throw you open. And I'm taking Lions probably to win outright, but give me Buccaneers plus 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, Key's got the Bucks outright in this one, which is a little surprising to me. But if anybody can pull out a gritty win, we've seen it all year with Baker Mayfield. He's definitely the guy to ask. But yeah, I'm thinking Lions. First of all, what the fuck is Brian Branch doing?
I forgot to mention that.
um,
Yeah.
like that's a whole dude. Hang on, I got a picture of it somewhere. Dan Campbell after the game, Brian Branch starts this huge fight and is like, we're not gonna allow that here. We're not gonna be that kind of team and blah blah blah. And it's like you're not gonna be like you guys, Detroit, the guy whose head coach was on the Bounty Gate Saints team, aren't gonna be the ones to play dirty like that. The guys that employ Kirby Joseph, who tried to take out T.J. Hawkinson's need, Tyler Higbee's need, he actually got those guys, and he tried to take out Kraft too. That guy is employed in Detroit. That doesn't happen there, is what you're saying. Brian Branch, who's been in the league for 2 years and has been fined 13 times, by the way.
That's
I,
crazy.
I don't think it's going to show up. This is a list of all of his fines totaling $129,000 worth, and talking about, oh, we're not going to have that here in Detroit. That's not who we are. Bullshit. Bullshit, Dan Campbell. You're lucky that you're playing a depleted Buccaneers team and that I'm picking you guys. But goddamn, like to come out and say like, oh, we're not going to be that kind of team here, blah blah blah. When you've been that team for like the past 2 years and Brian Branch is starting fights at the end of the game and then crying in the locker room, being like, "Oh, they were bullying me out on the field." Yeah, no shit. That's first of all, that's like their job to beat you, and second of all, like, yeah, you guys have been like talking about, oh, we're gonna tackle him by the ankle on the way down, and on the way back up, we're gonna take a bite out of your kneecap. Like that's the mentality that you guys have displayed. And whenever people kick your shit in, and then you're like, "Oh, how can this happen? Where?" Like, bro, sorry, not sorry. You kind of brought it on yourself a little bit. And I think that was just an absolutely ridiculous thing that Brian Branch did at the end of the game. Do you see that Juju was actually like bleeding from the shit that Brian
Yeah,
Branch
I
pulled?
don't know how he was like leaking that easy, bro. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
how he started leaking that one picture where he's got the helmet off, there's blood on his face. Brian Branch has him by the ear like a naughty child, and it's just all Chiefs players around. That is absolute cinema, dare I say it. That is why we
Yeah.
love this sport, bro.
It's
But it's
it's absolutely ridiculousness for them to be repeat offenders like that and then try to play it like, oh, we're not those kinds of guys. We don't allow that here. That's bullshit. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry.
yeah, I feel like Lions fans do have to be concerned for this game. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and my rookie Emeka Egbuka all out for this game. But like I say, next man up mentality with Ty fucking what did I just say his name was, bro? Ty Johnson, MVP. I
Tez
hope
Johnson.
Tez Johnson. I hope every time he catches a ball in this game, the fans start chanting MVP because that would be a fucking great
That'd
running
be
joke
hilarious.
to keep going. But I'm looking at the secondary here for this this Lions defense. Obviously, Kirby Joseph is the starting safety. Brian Branch alongside him at the other safety. He's suspended, so who comes in to fill that role? You have Rock Yassin at one cornerback. Terrion Arnold's the other cornerback. He's out. And it's literally on the depth chart. Everyone else is out. The next up for Terrion Arnold, Avonte Maddox, he's out. You've got Amik Robertson who plays nickelback. You could move him wide, but then who plays nickel? Because their backup nickelback, again, is Avonte Maddox, who's out injured. You've got Khalil Dorsey on IR. And this Lions team is injured, bro. We saw it last season too. They had a lot of injuries on defense and it cost them a lot in those games. I mean, the front line is solid. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is playing out of his mind this year. I don't know if Tristan Wirfs is going to play for the Bucs, but that'll be a big addition for their O-line if they do. But either way, Baker Mayfield's playing like a fucking MVP, bro. Give me Bucs plus 5.5, and let's move on. I do think Detroit are playing in all-black unis. I don't know if that makes a difference to your opinion for this game as well. I know how you love the unis, but I heard Amon Ra talking. I think they're going black helmet, black kit as well.
Did you say Buccaneers outright too?
No, I'm taking Lions money outright. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, Lions outright, but
Okay.
Bucs plus 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the uniform thing's only a Panthers thing
Just
because,
the
like I said,
Panthers.
for some reason, it's only the Panthers and their black helmets when they start playing legit. Every other time, like I said, they can keep it competitive with the Jets. So,
Well, we move into our final game of the week. Talking about the Lions defense having a lot of injuries. The Seattle Seahawks host the Houston Texans. Texans coming off a bye week. I think they're at full strength. And the Seahawks carrying a lot of injuries on their defense too. Sam Darnold playing out of his mind this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, what an absolute baller. The spread is 3.5. I went 50-50 on this one all day. I think I'm leaning Texans plus 3.5. The Seahawks have been great on the road. Have you seen they haven't lost on the road for like 17 games? I might have just made that stat up, but they've been great on the road, not so much at home, even though the Seahawks are known for the home team, the 12th man in the crowd. Give me CJ Stroud, though, to cover the spread plus 3.5. But I do like Seahawks outright because I have JSN in fantasy. Who are we taking for this final game of the week, Q?
yeah, I mean, same for me and Key here, both rocking with the Seahawks. Um, like I said at the towards the beginning of the episode, that was the one game that right after recording, I was like, man, I think I probably made the wrong decision there. Seahawks have definitely been proving me wrong this year. Um, Still can't get over the fact how I said Sam Darnold was a downgrade from Geno Smith. Clearly, that was not the case. I will say Cooper Cup hasn't had the production that DK Metcalf has had, but if quarterback's most important position on the field, I think any improvement there outweighs any lack of talent that may or may not have happened anywhere else on the team. So, yeah, Seahawks have definitely been proving me wrong. I think they're going to be winning this game for sure.
Seahawks 86% in this game on the pick'em. On the spread though, it's a lot more even, with the Texans plus 3.5 being 24%. It's actually really not even. I don't know why I've just made that up. I thought it was honestly 54% Texans when I went to read that stat out, but obviously the public betting on the Seahawks. I don't know, man. I just have a sneaky feeling this one feels like a trap. This feels like the last game of the week. It's on your parlay, and you just need this one leg to hit because it's the last game of the week. You need this to hit. You've got Seahawks minus 3.5, and the Texans get a sneaky field goal win, walk off 24-20. That would not be a walk off field goal score, but either way, that brings us to the end of our week 7 picks. It's looking like a good week of football again. I can't believe it's week 7 already. Much needed bye weeks though for the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. We back to some Ravens football in week 8, and hopefully Lamar Jackson can lead this team to the playoffs somehow. And I think it starts with the Bengals beating the Steelers. They need to lose some games. I think the only way the Ravens can make it to the playoffs this year is by winning the AFC North, which is going to be very hard to do. But yeah, any last words, Q, for week 7? Do we want to do a pick 6 parlay?
I mean, do you get 3 that you could think of?
Not really, but give me a minute. Give me a minute. That's what I need. I'm gonna take Kyron Williams anytime touchdown. I'm gonna take Quinshawn Judkins anytime touchdown. And give me a receiver. I'm going to take Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. There's my 3. Quinshawn Judkins, Justin Jefferson, Kyron Williams.
What was the one outlandish spread again? Was that Chiefs Raiders?
Chiefs
Like 12
Raiders,
and a half?
12.5, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raiders can cover that. I think they'll be a sneaky team to cover the spread there. I think Rico Dowdle will have another great game. I don't see another 200-yard performance, but I could definitely see a touchdown. And fuck it, man, why not? I think Matthew Golden's finally get his first touchdown of the year this week. So let me throw Matthew Golden on there too.
I like him. I'm backing your boys. Backing the boys. And if you want to back the boys parlay, gamble responsibly, of course. Yeah, I was going to try and find the odds there, but I can't remember the third guy I said. Jay Jettis. Why can't I find the Vikings?
Yeah.
Are they even playing this week? There we go. Found them.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Miles Price? Who the fuck is Miles Price, bro? There's a bet here that, like, a bet boost, 80-1. Match results will be the Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown, and Miles Price anytime touchdown. Am I tripping? Who the fuck is Miles Price?
Is it like a backup running back or something?
He's not even in like the top list of. Bro, he's so far down on this list of just like outright touchdown scorers.
Miles Price is the custodian.
Bro, he's literally second to bottom above Ty Felton for like the odds of touchdown scorers. He's below John Mechie III and Will Shipley.
That's ridiculous.
Who the fuck is Miles Price? Hold on, I'm Googling this guy. Am I being gaslit right now?
Where's John Mechie at?
Eagles. Miles Price plays for the Vikings. I thought
he was still on the Texans.
He's a wide receiver for the Vikings. Why is this guy? He's not had a single catch all season. Why is this guy on the bet boost?
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm tempted to put him in our pick 6 parlay.
Over on everything for Miles Price.
Bro, I'm actually tempted to put him in there because what the hell is that? In fact, it's 80-1, £10 returns £810. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to do with that? I don't know. Does this guy even have a player prop for like yardage? Because I don't think anyone even knows who this guy is. Let me check the yards. Is he like the kick returner or something? Is that maybe why?
I have no idea.
Okay, we're not getting any player prop yards for this guy, but he must be like kick return or something. Because that seems too outlandish to just have him in there. Miles Price. We're going to keep an eye on that guy, though.
Buy
Okay.
low, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Get him on your fancy team before it's too late. Oh, what the fuck? There's no touchdown stats yet for your game. Odds even.
What?
It'll come out closer to the time. That's annoying though. But okay, we're looking like probably about £200 returns if that does come in again. Maybe 250. But gamble responsibly. That's only off a fiver. We keep it plain and simple over here until we get a sponsor, and then we can just splash. But anyway, that's week 7 of the NFL season. Drop your comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with our picks? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? I know it's early to say, but is it going to be the Indianapolis Colts? Indiana Jones, is he going to lead them to a Super Bowl? That's my outlandish pick of the week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Indianapolis Colts. Honestly, I think the Chiefs do it again, bro. I can't even lie to you. I think the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl again. I don't want to see it. I've seen it enough, but I'm looking at their team. I think they do it. Any final remarks, Q, before we head off? Because I am sweating.
Yeah, not really. I'm looking at these picks. It's definitely feeling like a very scary week for the picks, but I'm excited to see what happens, man.
Exactly, man. That's why I tried to cover all bases and throw some spread picks in there too. I think I went 9-6 on the spreads last week, even though I went 12-3 on the money line picks. So we're getting them both running at the same time. And yeah, we will be back next week to review our picks and make our picks for week 8. Can't wait. If you have enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. We'll catch us next time, people, man. Take it easy.